with this.
I don't know why, but I expected college to be a lot more different than high school. This is the bed I slept in every day in high school. But it's also led to many of my worst habits. Now, these aren't work habits per se.
I'm not talking about bad habits such as not studying or not paying attention in class.
Now, this mindset works a little bit like this. We're always taught that the most straightforward or most surefire way to attain success is through an education. Especially as an Asian American, this is sort of ingrained in our minds that education is the #1 priority. And of course, it's easy to admit that there are successful creatives, but as we always hear from our parents, this is only 1 in a million. But if you look at doctors, lawyers, engineers, there are thousands, even millions of them who succeed, and it makes it a lot more of a surefire, guaranteed way of attaining success. And having come from a middle-class family who's been able to sustain me all my life, for example, having a comfortable bed to go back to every day when things don't go according to plan, it makes it a lot easier to set aside bigger dreams that seem a little less conventional. It makes it a lot easier to grasp for things that we already know, such as trying to obtain the optimal education, studying hard in school, which are important and most likely will lead to success, but aren't sometimes what we would enjoy as much as fulfilling our bigger dreams. Now, there are a lot of things that as kids we expect to just fall into place by the time we're adults. For example, we expect to just have gotten our driver's license somewhere along the lines. We expect to have graduated high school, and maybe even we like vegetables. Like you see your parents eating all those vegetables that you hate as a kid, and you're like, what the heck, maybe one day when I'm an adult, I might just like them. And that's kind of what I thought being more social in college was going to be like. One of those things where you're like, I'm in college now, it's time to be more social, so you will be more social. But now I realized from that broccoli analogy in the beginning, you don't just magically start liking vegetables. It's something that through constant exposure you become used to and eventually maybe even gain an acquired taste for. But if you don't eat a lot of broccoli when you're a kid, you're not going to magically start liking broccoli by the time you're an adult. And it's the same thing. I realize now after having been in college for a semester that if you don't constantly expose yourself to social situations and make your best effort to step out of your comfort zone, it's not going to be something that you're comfortable with naturally by the time you're done with college. And so overall, I'd say my first semester at Penn State has been quaint, homely, and a lot of fun. But a psychology experiment once showed that the older you get, time seems to move faster because your life is more routine and you're making less memories from these routines. And that's not quite what I want from my college experience. I want my college experience to be memorable and something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And maybe that requires making a lot of new memories rather than just following a routine. Maybe that requires me stepping out of my comfort zone, and maybe that requires a lot more of me trying to be social and meeting a lot more new people and understanding their interesting lives and seeing how they're different from mine. And so as a result, I've made a list of goals that I want to achieve by the end of the second semester of freshman year. I hope by the end of next semester I'll be able to tell you that I completed them all, and I'll try to make a video about each goal. I don't know.